So yesterday I did a video talking about my top 10 favorite Metallica songs, and in there I said, you know what, I kind of want to do the because it won the Patreon poll I did, and this one was kind of second place in that poll, and I was like, you know what, I want to do both. There were other songs, and I was kind of thinking to do other ones, but I was like, oh, let's just do a second place for now, and then I'll think about others. But yeah, as you can see from that title, my top 10 favorite Ice Nine Kills songs. Ice Nine Kills is one of my favorite bands. I love the blend of horror and metal with a theatrical flair to it. Yeah, and I can't wait for any new songs they're coming out with. I'm hoping to see them on tour later this year when they come through for their horror show tour. Nothing confirmed on that. I'm just kind of hoping. Anyway, they're on my bucket list for wanting to see live. Anyway, so here are my top 10 songs, and also let's go through the rules. This is just my top 10 favorite songs from the band. If you think a song should be higher or lower on the list, that's totally fine. I got no problem with you, and I'm always excited to hear what your top 10 favorite songs from Ink is, and you know all of that good stuff. But yeah, this is if you think a song should be higher or lower on the list, that's totally fine. Or not at all on the list, that's totally fine. I got no problem with it. I'm always excited. And yes, a lot of these songs, in fact, all of them come from their three recent albums. Every Trick in the Book, Silver Scream, and Welcome to Horrorwood. Why? Because even Spencer has said that's where some of his best, like the band's best work has come from. Not to say anything bad about their previous work, and I know someone's going to, oh, you're not a real fan if you don't like this song or that one. I like a lot of their previous work. It's just I think their work got better and better with each album, and it really heightened and took off after Every Trick in the Book, and then Silver Scream and Welcome to Horrorwood solidified it. So yeah. And it was also this song, yeah, it's from mainly those three albums, where I think some of their best work is from those three recent albums. Yeah. And like I said, this top 10 list was pretty hard. I think it was even harder than Metallica, because with Metallica, I kind of had an idea of where like some of those songs were. Here, I was like, fuck, I want to put this song in here, but I really like that one more. So I spent like an entire night listening to their discography and like thinking about where they would go. And while I had a solid idea what my number one was, but listening to my number two, I was like, honestly, number two could easily, take over the number one spot on any given day, depending on my mood. But let's just go on with the list. And starting off at number 10. And for number 10, I'm going to give you guys a quick lesson on how to count in German. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's Worst Vacation. Worst Vacation, I think, is an underrated song on Welcome to Horrorwood. It's such a solid, girthy kind of song with those heavy licks. It's very much like meant to be a Rammstein song. Like just how you listen to those like heavy industrial riffs and how it belts itself and also kind of the techno in the background. It's very clear like we're looking at like Rammstein or something of like the industrial era of metal. And yes, I do have the list in my phone just because I know I'd forget. I knew like it's heavy. It's brutal. And while I'm not a fan of the Hostel movies, I love how it references those songs while still being pretty original in its own right. I love all the just the brutality to it and how it has like this good chugging feel to it. So, yeah, Worst Vacation. At number 9, we have Merry Xmas. Merry Xmas is such a fun fucking song. I want to listen to it every time it's Christmas. It's so fast-paced and feels like a holiday death metal song. You could argue that like Take Your Pick took what Merry Xmas was and made it better, but I like Merry Xmas. Not to say anything bad about Take Your Pick. I like that song too, but Merry Xmas has so much fun, and I had to put it on the like. I was like, oh come on. I think when you throw in Garbage Day in your lyrics, you're going to be on this list. I'm just saying. Anyway, so yeah, it's a fast-paced song. It's fun. It has so many great puns in it. And again, Garbage Day. So how could I not put it on this list? So at number 8, we have Communion of the Cursed. Communion of the Cursed is kind of interesting for a lot. It's from Every Trick in the Book, and while everyone remembers Exorcist from the movie, you got to remember it is originally from a book. And while it does reference a lot more of the movies, you do see between this, I think Communion of the Curse is the perfect example of everything they wanted. It was a perfect shot, a little piece of what you were going to see from this band going forward. More so, and not keep in mind, there's another song higher on this list from Every Trick in the Book on this list too. But the reason why I say Communion of the Cursed was probably the song that really made you go, okay, it's clear, we now see the snippet of what the band will become. It's more references to the movie than it is the book. It has some great references to it, heavy licks, fast pace. This song is brutal and feels like excuse me. The best way I can describe Communion of the Cursed is could you just imagine playing that in your house as a kid? It must have been like how some people felt during the Satanic Panic when people would play Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. That's how I equate it to. But Communion of the Cursed also has that opening audio you hear. That's from an actual exorcism. That's audio taken from an actual exorcism. And there's also just a little snippet, because whenever I think of this song, I think of this story that my mother told me. One time we were, me, my dad, and mom were all just sitting around watching The Exorcist one night, and she brought up a story out of nowhere where when she was a teenager at Sunday school, her youth pastor was a former exorcist. And one time he was performing an exorcism, and the guy just got up and left. He just walked out. And for the rest of the youth minister, the youth pastor said, I always have this fear he's going to come find me again. Yeah, ain't that scary? But yeah, getting back to Communion of the Cursed, it's a solid, fast-paced, brutal song. And again, it's a great snippet of what you were going to see from the band going forward. So, moving on now to It Is the End. Man, this song fucks. This was a great album ender for the Silver Scream. It Is the End is, did you ever think you would have, saxophones and trumpets playing on a metal song about Pennywise the Dancing Clown? Yeah, I didn't either. And it does, call back to the band's original ska era, before they got really big. Yeah, Ice Nine Kills used to be a ska band. I'm not joking. So it's a cool callback to that. And the musical composition of this also is a great way to showcase, again, what we were going to see in Welcome to Horrorwood, where I feel like the theatricality of Welcome to Horrorwood is really showcased in It Is the End. Yeah, there's a lot of great jokes in here, punny lyrics in here that are perfect. It's a great song. I sometimes, when I go back and listen to it, I sometimes forget how good of a song it is. So I was like, God, when I was doing this list, I was like, God, I forgot how fucking good this song is and how well put together it is. So there you go, my number 7. Next up at number 6, we have Me, Myself, and Hyde. Me, Myself, and Hyde is not only a great song, I love how they use the clean vocals and the screamo to differentiate between Jekyll and Hyde, and there's great bounce back between the two. But also, another reason why it's here on this list is not only because it's a great song, it's also because this was my first Ice Nine Kills song. I remember I was doing a video with some other YouTubers, and we were doing a character study on Jekyll and Hyde, and one of the guys mentioned Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde song, Me, Myself, and Hyde. And I was like, you know what? I'm curious. I want to go listen to it. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh, shit. And then I found the rest of Every Trick in the Book, and that's what got me to be an Ink fan from going forward. Me, Myself, and Hyde, on a whole, is a great song. Again, I love the differentiating vocals to showcase Jekyll and Hyde. There's also some great hooks in the chorus. It's a great song. I think it's also one of the more alongside Actually, Community of the Curse is perfectly rated. I think it's people, but I think Me, Myself, and Hyde is one of the more underrated songs of Every Trick in the Book. I think the most underrated is, I think personally the most underrated on that album is The Plot Thickens. That's a great song. Anyway, so now we come to the top 5, and at number 5 we have The Shower Scene. The Shower Scene, it's not one of their heavier songs, but it's lyrically a great song, and it's also really fun. It's also apparently really fun to sing with at crowds. And also, as a big fan of Psycho, I thought it was a great, it had some great breakdowns in it. It had some great references to the original pieces of the movie. Yeah, and that chorus is just a solid hook. That chorus is just a straight up slapper. Yeah. Number 4, Meet and Greet. Meet and Greet is one of their more recent songs, and by recent I mean like the song came out like last fucking year. But the more I listened to it, the more I loved it. This song is about Silence of the Lambs, and it's a great theatrical piece as it is a metal song. There's great references to the movie. There's great build-up, and there's great hooks in it. Everything I like. It's one of those songs like every time I go back to it, I love more and more of the song. That's kind of my whole thing, is that it just feels like such a great solid piece put together, and it's like a great showcase of how far the band has come. Anyway, number 3, the top these 3 it was the hardest to get to the top 3 and really sort them out, but I think I'm happy with where I am. So number 3 is Enjoy Your Sleigh. Enjoy Your Sleigh was again, this was the song that was not only like the epilogue to Every Trick in the Book, but also the door opening to, it was also the first like confirmed track for the Silver Scream. The song, like I said, is about The Shining, and it has some brilliant lyrics in there and brilliant moments alluding to the movie and the book. And also, fun fact, the backup lyrics and some of the clean vocals are done by Stanley Kubrick's grandson, who's part of a British metal band called Shields. In fact, according to Spencer, the whole thing was actually like they were on tour, and Shields was one of the other bands, and the bass player was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Stanley Kubrick's grandson," and Spencer was like, "I need to do a song with you." It's like that moment in Titanic where like Jack's like, "I have to draw you." Hopefully that wasn't the case, but yeah. So it's a great like love letter to that movie, and again, like to have Stanley Kubrick's grandson on the track, it's just kind of an added layer of awesome. I fucking love this song, and every time I listen to it, it's just more. I find more and more things I love about it. So, 2 and 1. Honestly, like it was really hard to pick because I had listened to these 2 the most and thought about which one where they were going to place. And I think I'm happy with it, but you never know. So at number 2, we have Farewell to Flesh. Like I said with It Is the End, Ice Nine Kills knows how to do a great closing track to their albums. And Farewell to Flesh is a great example of that. It's a brilliant love letter to Candyman, and is all the more important now that, we no longer have Tony Todd with us in the world. Great references to the movie. It's a beautiful also like love song as well. And also, when your breakdown is basically Flight of the Bumblebees, what more can I like? No more notes. Like it's just perfect. There's great composition. It's also their longest song at like almost 5.5 minutes. And I know like I was like, oh, but Metallica can do songs like it. Yeah, but I'm talking like in the discography of this band, Farewell to Flesh is their longest. And there's no wasted space for this 5-minute song. Yeah. Anyway, so what is my number 1? Well, my number 1 is probably one of the most underrated tracks on the Silver Scream, and that is Rocking the Boat. I fucking love Jaws, in case none of you never knew that. I love Jaws. It is a great movie, and this song is a imperfect encapsulation of it, not only to the movie, but also to the history. I love all the lyrical history notes to the band's, history, because it has one of the former band members coming back to do some of the vocals as well. I think Randy Stormare, that's the name. But yeah, it's great references to like Predator Becomes the Prey, and Every Trick in the Book, all the other albums beforehand, and they're all brilliantly tied in. It's a love letter to both this movie and the band's discography. I also love how they incorporate the doo-doo, da-dun. I love that. I also love, there's a great reference to the Universal Studios ride, where they're like, Roger that, ETA, they say 15 minutes, but in the ride it's like 10 minutes. But 15, and then Spencer replies, within 15 minutes will be fucking shark bait. Obviously they don't say that in the ride, but this is a song with metal, so the F word is allowed. Yeah, it's a brilliant song. Real quick before I go, this list was really fucking hard to make, so I'm going to go over some honorable mentions real fast. Stabbing in the Dark, it was so close on this list. Stabbing in the Dark was so close to making it on this list, but I just couldn't with all the others. So Stabbing in the Dark was one. Bloodbath and Beyond, the song about Dracula, that was another close one. Ex Mortis, God, that was so close. That was on the list for a while before I was like listening to the other tracks, and I was like, gotta let Ex Mortis go in the honorable mentions. Assault and Batteries was another. Hip to Be Scared. Yeah, there was a lot. There were Thank God It's Friday, American Nightmare, all of those songs. They just didn't make the cut. To pun not intended. So you guys, so there you go, guys. Those are my top 10 favorite Ink songs, and who knows, when we get another album, maybe this list will change. Who knows? But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what are your top 10 favorite songs from Ice Nine Kills? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.